So let's see. Before we get going here, let's make sure that we activate Liara's warp ammo, because she does have the squad version of that. So that will give all of us extra damage, primarily against barriers. And let's make sure that we are also on our preferred weapons. I think we may still stick with the Acolyte. We'll have Liara, I think, on the Scorpion. Javik definitely on the Typhoon. Anything else that we want to proactively set up here? We do have Defense Matrix on. That's good. Otherwise, yeah, I think we stick with that. After getting that chunk of experience there, I was hoping we were right on the edge of leveling up, but not quite.
Watch it.
This has to end.
Draw strength from your anger. It will keep you alive. Remember that, because here they come.
Oh, I'm afraid so.
Staggered approach. Try to use cover.
Or hit them from really far away. Now, singularity them. And make a whole lot of them go boom. Because there are a lot right next to each other. Still more, though. Oh, including a Marauder. So this is the thing that's going to be tricky for us. Is enemies with shields, namely Marauders. They're the only enemies with shields that Reapers have access to. So that's the good thing. That's why biotics tend to work reasonably well on Reapers, whereas other enemies tend to have multiple kinds of enemies, units that have shields.
Then move! Get off the bridge!
Okay, and I think, despite the urgency here, there actually, at times, may be bonus dialogue that you can get if you do linger a bit in some locations, so we might deliberately do that on a few occasions, just to see if Liara and or Javik have anything to say about it. The barrier did get locked behind us, so there's no turning back. Okay. Let us proceed. More Reapers. Where those came from? That spot does seem to keep on getting hit. I imagine we take damage if we are standing there when that happens. We probably shouldn't stand there when it happens. Similarly, right there. We did spend some ammo in that encounter. This doesn't look great. Is there anything over here? Down this hallway? It didn't seem like it. Did not seem like it. A lot of rubble. It's a lot of rubble, I'm afraid.
On that building, we've got fire support.
Oh dear. Well,
No! Damn them!
Keep your focus, Liara.
Those things are slaughtering my people.
that may be, but as Javik said, we have to avenge them. And more Marauders, which means more shields, which means I believe we took the Dark Channel upgrade. It gives us a little bit more damage to shields, perhaps for that reason. No, it's armor and barriers, not shields. Ooh. Okay, so even Javik, even with Dark Channel, still not great against shields. We can still prime for biotic explosions in most cases. I think Dark Channel can still do that, even when they have shields. But we may be about to find out. It'll be a good test. Well, if you didn't dodge out of the way, we perhaps would have found out. Yes, it does. Okay. And now that you are shieldless, that means we should be able to, well, I mean, primed with warp, so we're gonna have to use throw to detonate anyway. That one down? I think they're both down. Okay, well, I think a lot of the Asari in the area went down as well. Afraid there may not be a way to rescue them.
Watch the edges!
Oh.
Don't let them get around us!
Okay. Quite a ways away. can theoretically try to bend that singularity around to hit them. I'm not sure if it did though. Oh, trying to flank us a little bit here. This is kind of a nasty spot in which we find ourselves right now. They can approach us from numerous angles. It's just cannibals that's not too bad. If it starts to get more elaborate enemies, perhaps less so the case. Galvik is right, though. They are trying to flank. I think we took 2 cannibals out there, though. I think those both got destroyed. Ooh. From that biotic explosion. We're going to actually get in range here. So the cannibals, as we've seen on a few occasions, will generally try to consume the corpses of their fallen brethren, and in doing so, they will gain armor, but it does bunch them up together, which generally makes them much easier targets for things like Singularity. That much is good. Definitely another one over here somewhere as well that I saw. I saw an explosive container as well, of some variety. Up you go, and out you go. Okay, I think they're dead. I think they are. Did use a single bullet. I believe there was still an ammo clip over here. Probably more further along, but just a plate. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Anything else of note here? Not seeing much. Got more ammo. Even a medkit? Oh, there's one. Seeing the harvesters. Not yet bought any. Ah, it's this spore pod is the thing we were seeing before. Does it explode and deal damage to us if we walk too close to it? Perhaps. Perhaps. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was perhaps worth going out of our way to destroy that.
They just won't
Oh,
stop.
I'm afraid you may be right about that. Afraid you may be right about that. Okay, so once again, the shields. Once again, the Marauder shields. Technically, Stasis is one of the only biotic abilities that can still affect enemies that have shields on them. So that is one advantage to having Liara with us here. However, without the Stasis bubble, it's only gonna lock up one enemy at a time. So I think we still use Javik to prime, then we'll warp to detonate that prime. And that's almost enough to single-handedly take a Marauder out. That's a good sign. Followed with a quick throw. I think we're already dead now. Okay, this guy is closer than I would like to be to Javik. So let's prime you with our warp, and then detonate you with our throw. Ooh. Oh, it hit the spore pod rather than the Marauder that I actually wanted to hit. I think that's what just happened. Anyways, now you're shieldless, so we can at least Singularity you, and we're definitely throwing you. If you're that high up, we are throwing you down. Okay, another Marauder, and another one back there, it seems. So once again, even if the warp, is not going to be super effective, it does still prime. So that is probably the way we're going to want to go with this. And if we prime with warp, it means we need to detonate with throw. Except it keeps on homing in on the wrong enemy. There we go. Now you're shieldless, so we can Singularity you if you don't roll out of the way. Okay, should get rid of this guy, but other Marauder, he's starting to get closer. You. Javik is going to annihilate you with the Typhoon in the meantime. Okay. Let's run over here to grab the med kit, because although we don't need it, I thought it was over here. Should still give us some experience. Was it not, like, right here? Thought we saw it. This is where we came down. Further to the left? There it is. There it is. Okay. Anything else over there? That might also be one. 300 experience. Ooh, that's something.
More of them.
And more marauders. More marauders. Once again, means we need to find a way to prime them. Not sure if we actually hit this guy with our warp and try to detonate that. Oh, that Galvik? No, that's Liara looping around that way, just trying to make sure we're not actually getting flanked. That might have hit both of them, which is kind of nice. The double warp, or rather the double throw. Did you get hit by that singularity? You did not, did you? I think Galvik took you out anyway. I was wondering if, yeah, if there's a medkit up here, and there does appear to be just that. We don't need the metagel, but it feel like we're close to leveling, but I think as we get a higher level, it does take more experience for us to hit that next threshold, so no, we're not quite there yet. That's one we just picked up, right? I assume? Yeah, okay. There's Spore Pod, let's just deal with it now. That one just went away with one warp. The way that water's reflecting on the wall does really make it look like there's a Geth Hunter right there.
That the door ahead looks like our way out of
Okay, sure, but there is still another Marauder.
this mess.
And that is a Banshee screen. Where is it, you ask? It's over there. And, well, see, here's the thing. This is Thessia. This is the Asari homeworld. And, of course, Banshees are created from Asari. Or, actually, Asari, yes, but Asari, nonetheless. And so, perhaps we shouldn't be so surprised that here is a Banshee showing up now. So, fortunately, Dark Channel does deal extra damage to barriers. So that is a good answer. That is a very good answer. And it is, I'm afraid, indeed a mutated Asari. So it might be worth chucking a lift grenade or two at her. Or at least... actually, singularity is precisely nothing. That should have been a warp or a throw from us. Okay, so...
Hey, good fight.
Oh, and the Marauder is still there. Alright, obviously... Usually when you do encounter Banshees, the idea is that you want to try to get rid of all the other enemies first, and then just run from the Banshee until she, or if there are multiple of them, all of the Banshees are the only enemies remaining, because they, by themselves, as long as you stay mobile, usually aren't too much of an issue. It's when they get close that it becomes a problem. Since there's just this one Marauder left, like, Liara, if you could just, like, stasis that guy real quick, you don't have to worry about him. Meanwhile, that is a Banshee Warp, which we may not have seen yet. That is their ranged ability. It functions very similarly to Shepard's Warp ability. It's just that it's Holmes, because ours does too. Down she goes. It does warp, or it does home. It does have damage over time.
Let's get moving before more of them come back.
It does do damage over time, which can be really a big problem when it comes to getting your shields back, because that means as you're taking damage over time, you are continuing to take damage, so it's going to be a while until your shield recharge kicks in.
Might be our way through.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's another dead Asari. Ooh. Hydra missile launcher also. This is a heavy weapon that could have certainly helped us against that Banshee. Fortunately, we didn't need it, although...
The scientists may not live long.
Here's a little bit more the if you want to call it bonus dialogue from Lingering, but yeah, so this... Not sure if we've ever actually used this specific weapon before, but could certainly help you against the Banshee in that sort of left corner over there. We didn't need it, fortunately. If you rush in, you might need to fight numerous of those Marauders and the Banshee simultaneously. Fortunately, we took enough of the Marauders out in advance that there was only one on the out in front of us when the Banshee arrived. Also, we should probably save now. But it does mean that I suppose we can just take this Hydra with us for the time being, which is pretty convenient. That is pretty convenient, I suppose. Okay.
I still can't face those things. My own people.
When we fought the Reapers, they turned our own children against us.
I can't imagine that.
They assumed we would hesitate to kill them.
Did you?
What answer would you prefer?
None. Let's stop talking about this.
Yeah, it's tough. Shepard, if you could, like, climb up this, that'd be ideal. Thank you. Ooh. Okay. It's a terminal for us to salvage, giving us a fair bit of monies. Ammo that we don't need. Okay. No signs of enemies at the moment. Except for that humongous Reaper.
For the first time, my people had stopped believing in devils. They changed their minds when the Reapers arrived.
Yeah, I bet they did. So that may even be a capital ship. Not a destroyer, but the kind that we destroyed on Rannoch. The biggest kind of Reaper, even bigger than that, the likes of Sovereign.
The Reaper is moving on. One less we get to kill.
Okay, but there are 3 cannibals just chilling over here. Apparently, seems to be eating some corpses. Maybe even Marauder back there. And so, we would like to try to take these guys out ideally before they even realize that we are here. So, I mean, Singularity can disable 1 at a time. Why don't we initiate with our Singularity? As that is on its way over, we'll have Liara use hers over here, since hers is instantaneous. That disables 2 cannibals. Then we go and have Javik slam you, and we warp you. Snipers on the sorry, snipers on the
We
balcony.
might be able to reach
How are you not dead yet?
them.
So we're trying to get to them. This cannibal is hopefully not much longer for this world. They sniped it out of the air. Well done. Well done, sorry snipers. Okay. Anything else here? Let's head down. Are they still shooting at stuff? They are. There's something over here. And still the sounds of a Reaper. Okay. Ammo. Enemies? Yes, there's something over here. Oh, it's you. What the heck? What is your deal? Just chilling on the ground there, was not getting up that entire time.
This is Feckless Kayla. Feckless, your neighbor, was just killed by enemy fire. Commander Shepard. No signs of him yet.
Oh, what are you talking about? We're right here.
Enemy forces have tripled in strength. I'm cut off from outpost Tychus. But you must maintain position. Shepard will be there.
We're on our way.
I'll do what I can.
Don't worry. Before we head over there, though, just take a quick check. Make sure we aren't missing anything here, because there may be some stuffs in the area. Vault this? We cannot. This little corner over here? Oh, whoa. This is very well hidden. Broken shotgun for monies. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else over here? It is extremely dark in this corner as well. Is that something? Huh? Yes, there was something hidden over here. Oh, what is... What? What? That is devious. Look at where these are hidden. Shotgun high caliber barrel. That's good, too. That's pure shotgun damage. And this is a med kit for more experience. And access to metagel. Yeah, that's pretty hard to find. The broken shotgun down here or stuff. That's extremely obscure. Okay. Alright then. Now that we picked that up, why don't we save? And how do we get up here to you?
Watch your head!
How long can you hold out?
Now that you're here, as long
As long as it takes. Okay, that also looks like a barrier generator, likes of which we've seen previously. That's not who I wanted to hit. Like, Java, you should just do that. That did not hit either.
Temple and the Reapers are history.
grab the spear over there if you need it. And let's do some dip.
Let's take him out. Okay, fair enough. Yes. Just trying to destroy this first. Ideally, there is a turret over there, I think. Just trying to get rid of this first. Okay, there it goes. So that should make life easier for us. Okay. I think the turret is right there. So why don't we try to lend some assistance with just like a singularity and then make our way over.
Nice shot.
Also, there's the Widow, which is, if we had not already picked up the Javelin, would be our best sniper rifle thus far. Huge damage. It actually, in Mass Effect 2, was Legion's unique weapon because it is originally of Geth design, I believe. It's really hard, but only fires once. It's pretty heavy as well. But is in many... Oh, I did not mean to actually equip it, but it is basically like what is objectively just a better Mantis, our starting sniper rifle, except it's probably heavier than that. So, I mean, like, can we take a quick peek? So, here's Mantis. It's not right next to it, so it's kind of hard to tell. Widow, very heavy, but very high damage, very high accuracy. Kind of like your classic sniper rifle. Shoot once, shoot hard, reload, shoot again. But I actually don't want it. I actually don't want it because it's heavy. This was not a turret? Why did I think there was a turret over here somewhere? Apparently there is not a turret over here. For some reason I thought there was a turret. Okay, well, anyways, that guy is still floating from the singularity that we dropped. So now he's dropping. Okay, we got him just in time, it seems. Trying to eat his cannibal friend. That's fine, it gives us time to take you out. Now, there's what, a Marauder that dropped in, which is a little bit tougher. Shepard, I would appreciate if you would singularity these guys. Did not work as intended. So this would appear to be a decent time to throw some grenades over there and just take out everybody. So I like the looks of that. Then there are some people who are starting to get closer, it seems. Javik, why? First of all, great time to catch Javik. Second of all, why are you going down? Because that seems like a terrible idea. And is Liara down there as well? Because she might be. But you guys are, like, voluntarily sacrificing this great high ground position with cover. This basically sniper's outpost. I'm trying to actually get you directly behind this cover rather than directly in front of this cover. Which, from this angle, is apparently too much to ask for. Fine, we'll have Liara go directly on top of us.
Right away.
That is a grenade that I just heard. I'm not sure where it is, which concerns me.
You hit one.
Apparently it was to our right. Where is Liara? That's Javik. I think Liara is down below us right now. So Liara, please come back up. I believe we primed this guy before.
Right away. Nice shot. Outpost Tychus isn't far from here. I can cover you. Go.
Okay. Pretty sure she did next to nothing to assist us other than just give us some pep talks.
Go. That's the last of them. Get moving, Commander.
Toward the Reaper. It's a way out of here.
You have an interesting concept of escape.
No choice.
I think you're right about that. Oh. Yeah, we had to drop our Hydra, so let's make sure we pick that back up. Okay. Anything else we'd
Get
like
going,
to pick
Commander.
up?
This whole sector is about to collapse.
Yeah. I'm sure you're probably right. But, oh, are you using a Widow as well? It very much looks like it. The weapon that we just picked up, I mean, somewhat fitting then that you're using it, and that's why we found one as well. But as I said, I believe it's technically a Geth weapon, not an Asari weapon. It's kind of odd.
Get going, Commander. This whole sector is about to collapse.
Yeah. Totally heard someone over there as well. It's a little bit odd. Excuse me. You were supposed to go away? You were supposed to go away when I warped you? Thank you. Okay. Anything hanging out in this corner after we saw some deviously hidden stuff in the previous area? I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. This dead Marauder over here, just kind of chilling. Don't know if that's a coincidence. Maybe it is. I guess it is. Odd, but sure, I suppose. That's just ammo, right? Yeah, I think that's just ammo. Okay, let's carry on then. Assuming that is our way.
This nightmare never ends.
The hell it won't. We get to this artifact and we can all wake up.
50,000 years later.
Oh, I see what you did there, Javik. See what you did there.
Watch it!
We're trying to reach Outpost Tychus.
You're looking at it.
What about the rest of your squad?
They're all dead. We tried punching through to the scientists, but I'm all that's left.
What about reinforcements?
We had gunships flying support, but things got too hot with that Reaper. They can't chance it.
We could use your help.
I know it's rough, but I don't see another way in without their help.
Have I told you how much I hate this war? Talon Swarm, this is Outpost Tychus. Is there anybody left on this frequency? We are in need of immediate air support. Commander Shepard is here.
Copy, this is Talon 1. I'm on the way. Talon 5 inbound. Ground targets confirmed. Weapons are hot. Light them up. Talon 1, watch the jamming. Target acquired. I'm hit. The stabilizer blew out.
That's not good. Oh, and that's a Banshee.
Whatever you're gonna do, you better do it now.
Go, Commander. I'll cover you from here.
Commander Shepard, I've got your back.
Okay, so see, here's the thing. There's a Banshee almost right in front of us. Probably the closest we've ever seen a Banshee spawn to us. So we might need to, like, immediately retreat. Because, as I've said previously, Banshees, you don't want to engage against them close up. So what I'm thinking is maybe we hit it with a dark channel and then we run. And perhaps level as well. So here it is. You can warp it too. And perhaps lift grenade it. And so occasionally the Banshees get mad. And they do those explosion-y things. Let's warp it again. Let's try to just get it out of here. So usually, as I said previously, oh, Javik's right next to the Banshee, which is also not good. Usually, as I said, you would like to try to maintain some distance between you and the Banshees. Not so feasible this time around, though, I'm afraid. It's going to send Javik flying back, but gotten rid of her barriers. That's a good sign. And so when they scream like that, that means that they are once again trying to move in on you. That was the heavy weapon, which honestly might not have been necessary because we'd already weakened her quite a bit at that point. Now that's a Ravager. Oh, there. And apparently we were not sufficiently in cover, or at least did not block the line of sight enough. Okay, I think it's down.
Next time we go to war, maybe the Alliance can spring for air support.
Hey, take it easy. Also, we did use a heavy weapon just then. There is another
Now's our chance.
missile right there. Also, there's a barrier generator right there that might have complicated matters. If we had gotten rid of that, that might have helped us. While we still can, just in case. Let's do that. Pick this up. I don't know if you can actually have 2 ammo on this missile launcher, or if you can only ever hold 1 at the same time. So by using the one that we just had, we can now pick this one up and use this, and we're never able to exceed 1 ammo anyway. So, okay. Any other Banshees, Surprise Ravagers? Anybody want to pay us a visit here? Or are we cool? Are we cool? Also, for what it's worth, this is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer music. Heard a few times before. Still have our warp ammo on. We have used a lot of Javik's grenades in particular. I've used his over ours because our grenades are a little bit tough to aim, since they do bounce a lot. And so from range, if you can anticipate how much they're going to drop, great. From point, but that gets a little bit difficult. Point blank, much easier. Javik's, though, always land right where you have your reticle targeted, so that's why I was generally resorting to using his. Also, his... actually, I'm not sure if they deal more damage. They deal more damage per grenade, but ours break up to numerous shrapnels. So if all of our shrapnels hit, then ours might actually be a little bit stronger. Once again, let's try to get rid of these things. If we... hard to tell if we're actually hitting it. Does it throw better? I really feel like we just keep on aiming directly below it. So it's not going... There it goes. Is throw the way to go? I mean, it does hit twice, technically. It is splitting which ones it's hitting. There we go. Okay. Yeah, maybe warp is preferable. Just a little delay before it actually gets destroyed. Assault Rifle Extended Barrel, number 5. That is a fully upgraded Assault Rifle base damage mod upgrade, so that's sweet. I think we've generally been using that on just about anyone using the Typhoon, so that's very nice. Okay, that's normal ammo, not grenades. Okay, looks like husks. And if there's one thing that a biotic team can deal with, it is husks. Okay, we're taking care of these ones. Liara, if you could singularity this guy, moving in on us. And we'll throw. And then we'll singularity. And then we'll throw. Say bye-bye to that husk. Excuse me? Are you referring to that Ravager? Because you might be. Apparently there was a spore pod there at one point in time. Ooh! Okay. It does look like we may be finding ourselves going up against these harvesters, who unfortunately are just out of range of our biotic abilities here. We may still be able to hit them with an odd warp here or there. Oh, who's that? Liara just went down to the harvester abilities. We do have our heavy weapon remaining, which we could use here This Marauder is now shieldless. But if we do this...
We need that pilot back. Keep your head down and give them everything you've got.
They are just non-stop hammering away at us. It's a short break in between the fire, but not much. Not much. There's also a barrier generator back there as well. Yeah, that's why you see that Ravager has barriers when usually it would not. Yeah. Yeah.
You're almost there, Commander. Keep it up.
So we could bring Liara back up, but we may not need to use the gel. Waiting for fire to stop. That was very close to going horribly wrong. Oh, that's a Marauder right on top of us as well. I totally didn't see. Is that Javik? Where is Javik? Javik is theoretically right in front of us. That might be Javik, who is currently getting pulverized. No, that's Javik getting pulverized? Not entirely sure. Yeah, Javik has died. Okay, so we might need some... Might need to use some metagels here, as it turns out. Unless we truly want to do this solo, which is not out of the question. We may actually be able to revive Javik from here. We died because we tried to revive Javik, which technically meant we weren't in cover. I wasn't sure when we were right up against the cover like that, but hard to tell also when the frames disappear. So, okay, I mean, we'll resume from wherever we technically left off, which we can actually see barrier engine from here. See if we can destroy it. That would be lovely. Our Acolyte is horrendous at shooting at things from afar. A Hurricane, not much better. Especially not from this range. We're landing some of these hits. Of this I'm fairly certain. Oh, we also are not going to have Warp M. Are we with Warp Ammo? Now we are.
Right.
Okay, but we definitely still want to go Hurricane on this. There it is. Okay, so that may very well have been complicating matters considerably. Hard to tell definitively how much of a difference it made, but yeah, so eventually I just got greedy and tried to, I was like, oh, Javik died right in front of us, so if we want to, we can just revive him without needing to use the metagel, when I probably should just use the metagel, because we, in truth, did have to go out of cover in order to get him, which I wasn't 100% sure about. Fortunately, we do still have the Hydra. Okay. We've gotten rid of the spore pods, gotten rid of the barrier engine. Now, let us proceed. Because now, here come our friends. And I did use the heavy weapon, which I think got rid of the Ravagers, but certainly did not get rid of these guys. I'm not sure to what extent the other enemies are going to continue to spawn in here. So what we need to do, what we should do this time, is make sure that our friends actually stay in cover, which the problem is it's kind of hard to tell from this angle to what extent we actually instructed them to stay in cover there. But yeah, not seeing any other enemies showing up on our mini-map right now, so that's a good sign.
I'm in trouble. My shields just took damage.
Oh, that's not good.
5 going down.
Okay.
Repeat.
But momentarily, they show up here. Oh, and they can still attack us even when they're doing that? Wow. Okay, so for what it's worth...
We have to make it worth something.
For what it's worth, in that encounter, you actually don't need to destroy the harvesters, which is what just happened there. If you're slow, which is eventually what ended up happening to us, then they do destroy that gunship and make their escape. I don't actually think there's any difference in terms of experience or reputation or end result, but yeah, I'm not sure how the timing works, because that time round was certainly much shorter than our first attempt, but we did get rid of the basic enemies far more quickly. So maybe the timer really only starts once you get rid of the basic enemies, and then you have very limited time to get rid of the harvesters after that. Because, yeah, I mean, from that range, the hardest thing about taking out the harvesters was just that we couldn't manually target them, or couldn't lock onto them from that far back. Whereas if we were closer, we could have thrown a few warps at them. Maybe we would have been more guaranteed to hit with our Hydra heavy weapon as well. It would have been kind of nice if we didn't use it in some ways, I suppose. But anyways. So let's put Defense Matrix back on. And we'll just throw a random warp, because why not?